Hi guys, how you doing everyone? I hope you are keeping up well. I know it's been a minute, but welcome back to my channel. And in today's video I'm gonna show you a recipe on how to make this delicious Swahili dessert called Matobosha. So we're gonna start by boiling water, and then after the water has boiled, I'm gonna pour in the flour. And this is the same process we use for making ugali. Those who are from Kenya know what I'm talking about. I'm not an expert in making this. I'm just showing you what I saw my grandma doing. So I hope you grasp one or two things and try to make at home. So after pouring in the flour, I'm gonna let it boil for about a minute, and then we're gonna start the process of, I do not know what you call it. We call it kusonga in Swahili. We're gonna songa the flour in. So I'm going to try as much as possible to dissolve the flour in the water, but if there are a little bit of lumps, no problem, we're going to try to eliminate those. So now we're just stirring the flour in the water. Wale Waswahili wetu wa coast, you know what is going on. So for those who have never made this, kindly just see what I'm doing. I'm trying as much as possible to speak English because most of the people in the comments say they don't understand Swahili. So this recipe feeds around 8 to 10 people, so if you feel like it's a lot, you can cut the recipe in half. So as we're doing this, we're gonna try as much as possible to reduce the lumps, and make sure you're not using a non-stick in this process, because you're gonna have a hard time to do what I'm doing right now. Make sure you use those old pots like our grandmas used to use. So after we have our dough, we're gonna let it sit for about 2 minutes. And it's ready. So I'm gonna pour the dough on a clean surface, and we're gonna try and knead it to make it as smooth as possible. And make sure you're doing this while the dough is still hot or warm enough. So since we're dealing with a hot dough, I'm gonna divide mine into 4 portions, or as small portions as possible, so that it's easy for you to work with. I'm gonna take a little bit of shortening or solid fat, and then I'm gonna start the kneading process slowly. And while you're kneading, remove the lumps, the flour lumps that did not incorporate well. So after kneading, and as you can see, our dough is nice and soft. We've removed most of the lumps, so we're gonna roll the dough and cut into small pieces to make the dimple-like dumplings. Make sure you're not rolling too thick or too thin, about a quarter of an inch diameter. So after rolling, I'm going to take a clean knife and rub some shortening so as not to stick on the dough. And then I'm going to start cutting my dumplings into small pieces, about half an inch. Make sure they're not too small or too big. If they're too small, they're gonna overcook and they're gonna stick to the bottom, and if they're too big, they are not gonna cook through. So make sure they're just medium size. So after cutting, we're gonna make dimple like shapes, like so. As you can see. And here I was all done, finished with making the dumplings. So now we're gonna go ahead and cook them for the second time in the coconut milk. I'm gonna pour the coconut milk in a large saucepan. add the sugar. I prefer using white sugar because if you use the brown colored sugar, your dumplings are gonna have a darker color. So I prefer using white sugar. Add your dried raisins or dried fruits, cardamom powder, vanilla, that is optional. And if you have milk powder, you can also add a half a cup. I forgot to add, but it makes it taste more sweeter and creamier. So you're gonna let the mixture boil. After it comes to a boil, you're gonna pour all the dumplings in. Give it a good mix and let it boil until the water has reduced, or rather the coconut milk has reduced. Once the liquid has reduced and it has started to thicken, we're going to add the heavy coconut cream. Give it a good mix and let it boil for about 2 minutes. And here we're done with our recipe. You can serve it warm, garnish with some nuts, pistachios, almonds, and top it up with ice cream. Delicious. Or you can serve it cold. Some prefer it cold, and this recipe is mostly preferred during the month of Ramadan. So yeah, don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe. If you have any questions, just ask in the comment sections. I will be able to answer you. See you in my next video. Bye bye.